Okay, this is my impression of someone saying they do something infrequently, or how a weird guy might react if you ask if he's ever put his wiener in a Belgian-style wheat beer. Okay, here we go. Once in a blue moon. Thank you.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, February 18th. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Happy All-Star Weekend, everybody, especially all our media friends out there. We're going to miss this weekend since we're not going. We miss you. We love you. Send pictures.
We got our top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-yo. The international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis. And finally making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, share the show. Email in your NBA questions. We're always looking for them. NoDunks@theathletic.com. Get yourself a sweet, sweet athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/NoDunks. Good deal on right now.
Very good deal.
I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know it's good.
$1 for 6 months.
I knew you would know it. You're always plugged in with the deals.
I like Slack.
He loves Slack. This guy lives on Slack.
I love Slack.
And
that's my my alarm. I was gonna say my alarm, but it's my go-to alert for sleep. The Slack noise. I just sleep with it.
Always so going
soothing.
off. Well, yeah,
it is. I love thinking about it.
And go over to NoDunks.com right now. You can get hoodies and T-shirts and mugs. And if you act quickly, you might be able to grab this sweet No Dunks 2022 All-Star jersey. TK's rocking it here in the Classic Factory. Only 100 of these available. Well, I guess 99 because Trey's got one.
Sorry, suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, JD asked me before the show, are you sitting up taller? I didn't realize I was, but you put on this jersey and the posture is just... whoop. You're up there, showing off that chest.
Bob Sura never slouched.
Sura's no slouch. I couldn't believe literally he was in the 97 dunk contest.
Oh, yeah, he was. There were some dark times during the dunk contest. But yeah, go over to NoDunks.com. Grab yourself a No Dunks jersey there. Limited edition run. Only 100 of them available. And I've already been told like 25% of them are gone before we went on the air. So yeah, good luck to everybody. On today's drop, we're going to make some All-Star weekend predictions. You know, All-Star Saturday night, which we'll be doing a live watch party right here. Tomorrow night, join us around 8 p.m. Eastern for that. We'll talk about the All-Star game, too. I want to get the All-Star game MVP predictions from you guys. You got to make your case. We got a fun callback when it comes to Tweet of the Night. We got rapid-fire fun because this is the drop. But let's get in some game talk. And we'll start with Embiid having a huge game to help the 76ers outlast the Bucks 123-120. Lee, get us started, man. Big takeaway.
You said he had a huge game. It could have been huger, too, if some of his teammates could have finished off some of his other passes. He finishes with 42 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. But, you know, I like to get a little bit dirty with the secondary assists and digging in.
You're a sick man.
I am a sicko. And according to NBA stats, Joel Embiid had 14 potential assists last night. So
he passed the ball 14 times?
Well, see,
how do they do that?
See, that's the thing. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I don't care. It just helps me say just how good he was last night. Because let's say your MVP choice was coming down to...
What the fuck is that?
Interesting.
Just leave it there. We look great. Like, you see the jersey, see him talking.
Yeah, but I really love this shot. I love it.
That's like that sicko's meme, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, tell me more about these potential assists.
You want some hockey assists in there too? But look, let's say you were coming down to your MVP choice out of Giannis and Joel Embiid. I know there's others, but let's say, well, Joel Embiid would have certainly tilted it in his favour last night because I thought he was just an absolute beast. He did get good contribution. Certainly in that second quarter, Tyrese Maxey had a little burst where he hit 4 field goals, and that was the only field goals he hit for the game. I thought Tobias Harris was really good, and I thought George Niang's defense on Giannis, I think they had a good plan. Just to get into his space. No one stops him. No one slows him down. We know that. But certainly Giannis had to work for his buckets last night. But Embiid had the 3-pointer going last night. He got to the free throw line. basically this game was there in the balance, and Joel Embiid was the one who stepped up and said, I'm going to make sure our team wins it tonight. And they worked hard and they hustled and they do all those, those hard-working nuggety stats there like that.
Oh my God, you just swerved from one end of the spectrum to the other. Yeah.
I'm like, but his presence out on the floor, as it was again the other night. Now, let's forget the Celtics game. He was a plus 13 in a 3-point game. When Joel Embiid was on the floor, the Sixers were clearly the better team there last night. The Bucks had chances at the end. They rushed a couple of threes, I thought, when in that last sort of 35 seconds there, didn't connect them. Chris Middleton didn't have a good shooting performance. They played well. I mean, the Bucks played well. This is a really good close game. But if you're the Sixers right now, you are hoping that you're getting, after the All-Star break as well, a rejuvenated, energetic, excited, healthy James Harden. Yep. And you're going to be feeling pretty good about yourself. Yep. There's some really good teams in the East. Miami, we'll get to them. They won again last night. Chicago's obviously been one of the better teams. Cleveland is a tough team. And then Milwaukee and Philadelphia. I mean, any one of those teams, I think, maybe not the Cavs in quite that top echelon, but any one of those other 4 teams, I think, have shown they could be the best team in the Eastern Conference. And Embiid, I mean, this little tear he's on again, forget the Celtics game, he's just unbelievable right now.
Yeah, I can't wait for Sixers-Bucks second round series, maybe even conference finals, to be decided by who plays better, Tobias Harris or Chris Middleton.
That's right.
That's what's going to happen when they meet in the playoffs. Inevitably, it's going to be like, of those guys, who's got to go? And Middleton have just a brutal game, a rough shooting game, and Tobias, I thought was pretty decent. Played better than Chris last night. But what do you have to this one?
Big takeaway, I think, is that the Bucks desperately miss Brook Lopez in a series like this.
Yeah,
he would help so much over Bobby Portis to play Joel Embiid. The matchups here, what I was watching was Embiid versus Portis and Giannis versus Georges Niang. And the guy who won the defensive battle of those two was Georges Niang. Yeah, it's remarkable that it's a guy who's come through the D-League, a second-round pick, and here we are. I love so many things about Georges Niang. I love the Niang gang, the Van gang. I don't know what his fans are called, but he has a faction of fans at where he's come from, that he is a very solid defensive player. I think he's a lot taller than he is because he's like Trey sitting up in that jersey. He looks a lot taller and bigger. I mean, just because he's so wide, I think he's 6'9" or so, but he's 6'7", and he played Giannis really well. On the other side, Brook Lopez is such a big part of the defense for the Bucks, and he would have helped against Joel Embiid. Joel did 14 of 21. Brook is he people call him the most important defender on the Bucks, and I think that's pretty true. Him and Giannis work hand in hand, so they are looking for him to come back. And I think the Bucks, giving up a 45-point second quarter in this game, they're kind of just in chill mode a little bit. They are the champs. We do see games from the champs in this part of the season that it isn't indicative of how freaking great they are. It's just an effort thing sometimes, and I think that's what happened, and they had to come back in this game, and they weren't able to do it.
Yeah, I love a game like this where the game is awesome. You see the highlights the next morning. It says epic duel between Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Great to watch those two going head to head. I actually like Embiid taking the challenge and guarding Giannis. That's to me how you can tell that this game meant a tiny bit more to the Sixers than it did to the Bucks. And also I love that this game really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, because when we look back, we're going to be like, no James Harden. So the Sixers are going to look completely different. The Bucks, we assume, will look different too whenever Brook Lopez comes back. Pat Connaughton will be healthy come playoff time. So just sit back and enjoy it. But you're right, Skeets. The Chris Middleton Ferris wheel, it's boarding right now.
Yeah.
It's very low. I think he's 6 for his last 30 from 3. He had 3 3-point attempts in the last couple of minutes in this game. If he hits one, we're talking about maybe a Bucks win here, but he was pretty far off on both of them. So he's got to hit shots for the Bucks to be good, but it's like, that's just how the Bucks do it. They won a title with Chris Middleton hitting shots when he absolutely needed to. And on the flip side, I think that Georges Niang and Furkan Korkmaz are like sneakily huge players for the Sixers team. They're going to have to get outside shooting from somewhere. Those two guys combined to go 8 for 14 from 3 yesterday. So if they're shooting the ball that well, they can stay on the court and give any sort of defensive resistance that they can provide.
Yeah, especially now that Curry's obviously gone and in Brooklyn. Well, let's keep it moving here. Let's get to this one, because there's a bit of controversy surrounding the Heat's win last night in double overtime against the Hornets. 111-107 was the final score. Let's go right to this missed call, as I want to hear your opinion on it, guys. It was crazy. So the Hornets coaching staff and their fans upset that the officials never stopped the game to review a made three-pointer by Lowry in the first overtime period. So we've got a screen grab here of it. Lowry's foot, I mean, it's clearly on the line. And because the three-pointer came in overtime, officials on the court, they would have had to ask for a review rather than the league office it's the caucus reviewing it to change the score. This was very confusing. I was watching it. I mean, if you were watching the Hornets broadcast, Collins and Curry are saying, well, that's not really the score.
Yeah.
They've called it a 3. Yeah. They'll look at it.
Don't worry, they'll take this off.
Yeah, when we have a stoppage in play. And then eventually we got to a stoppage in play because it took a while. The game kept going. I actually, in watching it lively, I was like, whoa, what would happen here if for whatever reason, it'd be so rare, but if we just didn't have a stoppage from here until the end of overtime, the Heat are up 1, would it be possible that they would then go, now it's our first stoppage, let's go look at it, take it away. But in the end, it's this weird rule that I wasn't really even sure of, Tass, where it's like it wasn't triggered. Like it wasn't there was like a couple seconds after he hit it, there was an inbounding play from the Hornets and it was like not reviewed then, or the play was stopped to take a look at it and they didn't go back because they can't, they're saying, the referees. Just really strange.
And stupid, really. Why not get it right when it's so clearly an error?
Yeah.
I mean, we have stoppages for things that are like, they can take 10 minutes for a stoppage. Clearly goes,
he may have fouled him while he's on the fast break. Let's take a look at it.
And the ball will go out of bounds. All right, we've got to get that right.
Yeah.
This, in a game like this, so tight in overtime, and it's because it's in overtime, they can't get it from Secaucus. It just doesn't make sense. And especially when you have the opportunity, when there was that break in play, and I think there was about 50 seconds to go. I think it was after Lowry hit another 3, actually. Then to say, okay, we've got to get this right, because it could change so much of how the Hornets then play those last couple of possessions.
Yeah.
And for them to end up on the wrong side of this score as well is just rubs salt into the wound. And the referee, by the way, right there on the spot too.
Yeah, he's right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just don't know why they wouldn't have done that. It just seems like a complete screw up to not even be able to go and check it.
I think it's a screw up in the way they wrote the rule. I think they just messed up somehow, that the rule is dependent on when it is during the game, that it's only in the four quarters that Secaucus can check it. Overtime, it's cool, we'll figure it out.
Surely overtime, like the rules then just go and extend into overtime. They don't just go, well, no overtime.
And this rule was just written a couple of years ago, right? Because it used to be that the referees on the floor would go over to the scorer's table and figure out after a stoppage. But now it's gone to Secaucus, and so strange that they made it just dependent on when it is during the game. I've said it before. We here as basketball nerds sometimes don't know the rules, and this is another instance.
Yeah, I did not know this one.
The broadcasters didn't know it.
No.
I mean, it makes zero sense, and that's why I think it's just a flub in how they wrote it. Like they just left out the OT part, or how they excluded the OT part. It's a mistake, and it's got to be changed. What purpose does it serve for the referees to change it on the floor only in overtime? Doesn't make sense. It has to be up in Secaucus.
Could we get a replayed game here? It's like the most exciting thing. We're going to get a team together. We're going to play 6 minutes.
So you're saying, are the Hornets going to protest?
I mean, the Hornets have a pretty clear and obvious protest saying, hey, look at that foot. You see that foot? We all saw that foot.
The only problem is the game then went to double overtime a little bit. Yeah.
But Montrezl Harrell's free throw would have been a game winner. When he went to the line, it would have sealed it. Yeah.
Yeah, really weird. I mean, so they're asking the crew chief after the game, because they can do the whole thing where, like, the pool reporter, I think it was Rod Boone of the Charlotte Observer. So he asked Sean Wright, who is the chief crew. I'll just get this out there for the record. He said, by rule, this is the officials, the basket by Lowry must be reviewed at the next clock stoppage, which was at the 2-minute mark. So like I said, a few seconds later. Once the ball was inbounded by Charlotte, by rule, the window to review the shot was now closed. Okay, and then, the follow-up question is, but his foot is clearly on the line. I mean, it's not close. Why was more caution not exercised and a review called by the crew to ensure the ruling was correct? Right. Quote, the crew has to have doubt in order to stop the play. Unfortunately, we did not have doubt at this time, which is the reason why we didn't stop the play.
Yeah, and that's why they won't, obviously, they can protest it, but the NBA will say, that's the rule, sorry. I know you don't like it, but that's the rule. That's why you're not getting the protest. We might change the rule, but you're just going to have to.
Yeah, I think it was Schumann that tweeted, there probably shouldn't be a statute of limitations on when an incorrect score can be fixed within a game. And that's spot on.
Yeah.
Really, really weird.
Yeah, it's the whole game. That shouldn't stop.
You should get the score right at all times.
Yeah, so there could be an instance where we go to 4 overtimes and the rule stops in the 3rd overtime. Who knows with these rules? It makes no sense. And I understand why the ref may have missed it, because it was Lowry's inside foot. I mean, if the referee is on the sideline like he was, his caboose and his left foot were in the way of his right foot standing on the line. I could see why he missed
the angle.
it. But
it should be coming from Secaucus.
Exactly.
I'm with
Secaucus
you on
has
that.
all the angles.
Hold on. Why do we have the technology? We have the technology in tennis to like, let's go right in and see where that ball, whether or not it hit the line. Like, how can we not have something similar with the 3-point line at the very least?
And soccer,
whether a foot is on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is then triggered at least to have a look at it, no matter what period we're in.
My only question with the ref, though, like, you have to look at his feet before you put the 3 signal up. He was looking down there, and he's...
This is just a bad call.
Yeah.
No excuse for it. This is a terrible, terrible call. And there should have been doubt in the arena. There was doubt on the broadcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can hear Eric Collins screaming.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guarantee you could hear him.
I mean, it looked like they actually put it on the giant screen there, too. So, I mean, just because of the way that the coaching staff and the Hornets, they were saying, check that, review it. And the ref seemed to be just like, no.
Well, again, they're saying at a certain point we just can't. We're not allowed to go review it because
but
of the rules.
It's right when Charlotte inbounds the ball, right?
Yeah.
So like 1 second later, they have to know right away. They should have just like taken a foul.
Well, that's why Curry and Collins on the call are like, okay, well, that's the score on your screen, but don't worry. They say at one point the guys in the truck, so their production team, have taken a look at it.
Yeah.
He's clearly on the line. So when we have a break and play, they'll go look at it. They'll take away a point, and we'll be, I guess, tied in that situation. So it was really weird. It's just a weird, strange, like, I don't. It's not a loophole or something with the
refs
the rule
blew
book.
it.
Yeah,
they blew it.
Yeah. As for the game itself, which was really entertaining, Lowry was a beast.
He was
in the overtime period. He scored 12 of his 25. There was the Kyle Lowry over everything moment where he just took over the game. Butler had nothing going in terms of his shot, though he did end up hitting a huge jumper, and then he hit a 3 to sort of ice the game in the second overtime. But it was Lowry, Duncan Robinson hitting threes, and you guys already said it, Montrezl Harrell had a chance to even win this thing, and split it. Hit the first one, splash. I was like, whoa, wow. But when he went to the line, I'm like, he's not hitting both these.
No, he doesn't have the smoothest motion at all.
No.
Moonballed it a little bit the second one.
But what did you think? Anything else? We got the Heat now tied with the Bulls as we head into the All-Star break, 38-21.
And look, just to go on the call one more time, even if it does get overturned, maybe the Hornets don't win, of course, but they are desperate right now for any sort of luck to go their way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
they're 0-6 now in overtime games, too.
They're not good at closing out there. And 14-14 home, 29-31. So they just can't quite separate themselves into one of the groups right now where they can get into that playoff safety. So everything is huge for them. But I think it is a little bit, I mean, I don't have the stats. I haven't dug super deep into their clutch time execution, but it just feels like they don't have a great closing out like LaMelo and Bridges and those guys. Certainly doesn't feel like you're watching Chris Paul or DeRozan out there. They need someone who can sort of help them get a couple of easier or at least higher percentage looks when the game is tight.
The Hornets were not helped out by LaMelo Ball fouling out of the game, somewhat late. And I thought Bridges was pretty clutch last night. He didn't want to go on All-Star break. He kept extending this game and making it close, hitting big shot after big shot. But anything from this Heat-Hornets one besides the controversy there?
I love seeing feisty Lowry. Lowry was just into this basketball game. We're getting second half Lowry here. He's coming. He's coming because he's been in and out of the lineup, and he knows how to preserve the body a little bit. He's a champ, so he's waiting a little bit for these last 30 games, and it's impressive what the Heat have become with Lowry out of the lineup and Adebayo out of the lineup and Butler out of the lineup. They've had so many
heroes
injuries.
out of the lineup right now for them, even, which is really weird. So, but this is a scary squad if everybody is on this team, and my God, they must be the most annoying team to play. Lowry and Tucker, taking charges and obviously embellishing them. And this happened a couple times down the stretch. And then you just got feisty defenders and Jimmy and Bam. It's just it'd be a nightmare. I would not want to play them in a playoff series. You'd be like, God, no, not this squad.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be grinders big time in the playoffs. This is a team that was built to be great in the playoffs because they're going to be great on defense. The offense, though, I'll say is a concern. 87 points in regulation against the Hornets. The Hornets give up 87 points and a half.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was Jimmy Butler missing, but a lot of the Heat's offense is like, Jimmy, go do something. And that can be a problem because his greatest strength is his strength You put a bigger guy on him, he can't knock that guy necessarily off the path and get an open jumper if it comes down to just Jimmy shooting jumpers. That's also not his strength. So I don't know. There's going to be a lot of tense moments, I do believe, for the Heat. They'll be playing a lot of games under 100 come playoff time, and those are games that are really a toss-up when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and you need those Lowry moments where he hits, 3 shots in a row, 2 threes, gets inside, finishes like he had in this one, especially in overtime. All right, let's keep going here. Luka scored 49. Oh my God, he's the third game we're getting to as the Mavs beat the Pelicans 125-118. Trey.
Yes, hi, Mr. Doncic. We have an opening here at the MVP table, so we can seat you now 49, 15, and 8 for Luka. This is one of the best heaters of his career right now. I would recommend personally going back and watching the third quarter, 20 points for Luka, and it did not matter who was guarding him. He had and ones, he had step backs. He even had a driving dunk in a half-court possession. It's like, Devontae Graham, too small. Sorry, buddy. But this is the 4th time in February already that Luka's had 40 or more points. He's now up to 5th in scoring, 5th in assists. It looked like he could go for 60 last night. But the Mavs were up big in the 4th. Thought maybe Luka's not coming back until CJ McCollum got really, really hot. He had 18 in the 4th. The Pelicans cut the lead to 4 with 30 seconds left. But Dallas made just enough free throws and played just enough defense to get their 6th win in 7 games. My 2 big takeaways. Number 1, all Luka needs to do to win MVP is show up in shape. Like, if he shows up this Luka Doncic at the beginning of the season, he's probably going to be the leader. If he looks like a different player. Like, physically, he looks different. He's less sweaty. His haircut looks better, and his body looks more svelte. He's moving incredible out there. Number 2, watching the Mavs play the Pelicans, I couldn't stop thinking about how similar the Kristaps Porzingis trade is to the Jonas Valanciunas trade, where, like, there are reasons that you would make the trade contract-wise. Like, maybe the Grizzlies didn't want to have to pay JV, right? The Mavericks obviously wanted to get off the Kristaps Porzingis contract as well. They're both solid players, but I kind of think it was like the front office is saying, we are wasting our time posting up literally any time. Why don't we just put the role guys out there in Powell and Kleba? Kleba picks and pops a little bit, but he can roll too. He got a nice dunk here, and just do everything with your star. Like, Jonas Valanciunas, you're a solid player. Kristaps Porzingis, you're good when you play, but you ain't Luka and you ain't Ja. So let's just go all in on those guys. It's a little bit like addition by subtraction, and it's a little bit just doubling down on what you're the best at, and it's obviously working for the Mavericks.
Practice your free throws, Luka. I have to say that because he had 2 to get 50. Yeah, 13 seconds to go, and he missed both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only knock on his game last night because he had that step back going in the first half as well, and it was just incredible. He was awesome, and the Pelicans did make it a contest, but it is interesting.
I thought I jinxed it. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe Tass was watching the doc last night that we work on for the show. It's our pick'em game.
Yeah.
They were up huge.
24 or something.
I was like,
point.
well, that's another win for Skeetsy, killing it this month. And I updated the standings, and then I checked the score like 5 minutes later, and it was like a 5-point game. I was like, oh no, I've done it.
I saw you.
Did you? I thought I saw you in it. Yeah, I was like, oh geez, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. I mean, that's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
Luka was just unguardable, really, last night. I mean, when he's got that step back going, he's incredible, and you can see it. He's got that sort of slow sort of wind up to it, but then he takes a gigantic step, creates a space, and when it's going, man, he's fun to watch.
Yes, superstars like this, if they have a rough game like he did the night before or the game before against the Miami Heat, where he's 5 of 19 and he was getting doubled all over the place, and then he gets loose against a team that is sort of soft doubling him, just showing a second body kind of. These are the kind of nights, if you like playing player props, that he's going to go off. He was 5-19 again the game before against the Miami Heat, and then he got 35 opportunities in this game because they were just giving him space. So anytime you see a ho-hum night from a guy like Luka, it's happened. As Trey said, he's had some 4 40-point games so far in February, and he's had a couple, an 18 and a 21, and he bounces back big time to give you some juice, especially when you get locked up with a Heat defense who said everybody else. DFS Dorian Finney-Smith, come on, come beat us. Reggie Bullock, when you get back healthy, you come beat us. Kleba, you come beat us. Like all those types of guys. But the Pelicans just got they got down early, and it was hard for them to come back.
So who is currently at the MVP table if Luka has pulled up a seat? I assume it's Jokic, Giannis, Embiid.
Yep, those are our three mainstays.
Okay.
They would be sitting in the spots right now where me, Tass, and Lee are sitting.
Okay.
Like they're entrenched in there. The two outer seats are switching quite a bit. Right now I got Luka and DeMar DeRozan.
Okay.
Sitting in the 4th and 5th spots. Steph Curry's been sitting there for quite a while. John Morant's had a seat. Chris Paul stopped by for a little bit, but he's kind of been in and out. So that's my current 5 right now.
That sounds right. Would you agree with that? It's the 3 giants there in Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, and then right now Luka, the heater he's on, as Trey put it, and then maybe the 5th being a DeRozan, or maybe you have somebody else.
I'd probably have Ja. Just a slight tilt ahead of DeMar.
Okay.
Jar ahead of DeMar, but
sure.
DeMar's like, I've just talk a call. He's outside.
Right, there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Okay. The other games, I'm just going to lump them together, Tass. You can talk about both of them. You can talk about none of them. You can talk about one of them. Rui Hachimura and Kispert lead the Wizards past the Nets 117-103, and then the Clippers raced to an early lead and cruised past the Rockets 142-111.
I know the Wizards' season has gone sort of off the rails a little bit with Beal out. They've traded for Kristaps Porzingis, who is not playing basketball currently. It's a weird season for them, but I will say I do enjoy watching their young guys play, and their young guys being Denny Avdia and Rui Hachimura. Those two guys, not home runs from each of those drafts, not superstar players by any means. They're not going to be number 1 guys. But Avdia and Hachimura are going to have long careers in this league. And I think what kind of goes under the radar about Avdia is they put him on really good wing players a lot of the time. And he stays down and he plays hard. And he's a really good secondary playmaker and secondary scorer. They did pretty good with him. Even though, I think he was drafted over Halliburton. All right. You might want Halliburton instead.
Yeah.
But a decent pick there. And Hachimura, a lot of injuries, but he's come along as well as being a really, really efficient player. So those dudes are coming off the bench still. It's an interesting rotation for Wes Unseld Jr. They're still playing the vets. They're still playing your Kuzmas and your KCPs and trying to win basketball games. But eventually, it's a little Knicksy. We should see more of these young players, I think, because they're efficient, then they're playing really well, and they're not shot happy by any means. I think they'll still play within the offense in the starting lineup. So I think there's some positivity to take away from this ugly season. Then they still have to mix in with Beal and Porzingis later on, but there's still a game out of the play-in tournament. Only a game. It sure seems like they're in 14th place. But they could get there. They definitely could get there.
We have some news when it comes to Anthony Davis. We got an update. Lakers star forward AD diagnosed with a mid-foot sprain on Thursday. This is from the Lakers themselves. They say he will be out at least 4 weeks. TK, how big of a hit could this injury be here for the Lakers?
This is bad news bears, Walter Matthau. I am daughter dating a biker worried if I'm the Lakers because LeBron has been balling. LeBron has been playing incredible basketball this season, and it doesn't matter. 4-6 with Anthony Davis in the lineup since his return. The silver lining, I think, if you're the Lakers, one of those weeks is taken up by All-Star.
Right.
So you're not losing any games at that point because the schedule is brutal for the Lakers. Once they come back from the break, they've got the 3rd hardest schedule remaining per tankathon.com. And speaking of tanking, they could lose their pick this year if they end up. It could go to the Grizzlies. So to me, it's play-in life for the Lakers once again. I don't think that they have any chance of getting to the 6th seed. They're 2.5 up on the 10th seed Portland right now, and then 4.5 games up on the 11th seed. So it seems like they'll probably still make it to the play-in tournament. LeBron James, perhaps the greatest player in play-in tournament history. Remember the 3 baskets shot he hit from half court last year. Kind of slipped my memory, but that definitely happened.
Yeah.
I think it's really realistic they don't make it to the top 8 and play in the real playoffs this season.
Yeah, and who's available that they could get to replace him? I mean, Dwight and DeAndre have given them nothing.
Right.
So they needed someone. It's not going to be Melo, obviously. He can't play that position. So they need a big, they need a body. I'm not quite sure who it is they get. But Anthony Davis, I mean, his season just feels like he started the season, didn't look great. He went down with the knee injury. And now he's out again with another ankle injury. I mean, even if he was to come back in, let's say, 4 or 5 weeks just before the playoffs, you just don't feel that he would be ready to go. His conditioning would need a lot of work in that. But he was looking okay when he did come back here. But So many times this season, he's gone up for a rebound or something, come down, and just looked like, he's done something. And he did that the other night. So, it's been a rough season for him.
Yeah, I think it's wise to remember the All-Star break is not the halfway mark of the season. When these guys come back from All-Star weekend and a couple days off, there are like 7 weeks left in the season until the playoffs, or the play-in tournament, I guess. Very little time. And AD could miss a good chunk of that task, maybe even the whole thing for all we know, depending on what happens with the Lakers at a certain point. If it looks like we're toast, then maybe he doesn't even return. Who knows? I mean, it's bad. Sucks.
Well, yeah, I would say they're not going to be toast. I don't think. I don't think they're going to fall out of the play-in picture. I think what they're playing for is either lose 2 games to go home or lose 1 game to go home. And by that I mean the 7-8 bracket or the 9-10 bracket. Right. They're playing for and maybe they can't get to that 7-8 part of it now with AD out. But I still think they're going to be hanging out in that play-in tournament again one more time. It's weird. Maybe they can get help in the buyout market. It may not be a big because the best players are still guards out there, and they may just have to go small with Braun at the center, a lot of center. Right. In crunch time, they may try Trevor Ariza. But what I really think is going to happen is it's Westbrook time, baby. And
what about center? It's got to be.
Yeah. Well, he can play. He is going to play center. Like he's going to get to the hoop. It's that that's that time of year. Remember last year? Well, let's be a little positive. At the end of the year, he helped the Wizards get to their own version of the play-in tournament because he went buck nutty after the All-Star break. He was crazy, Westbrook, in a good way. Sort of out of control, getting to the rim. Has he preserved his body? Is he ready for this? They're going to give up a ton of points at the other end, but maybe if they get a Dragic in the buyout market, maybe they can outscore teams and just get to the line with their guys intact and ready for a play-in tournament with let's be realistic here. They're going to be in a play-in tournament with the Wolves, Clippers, and Blazers, or a team of that ilk. So it's when it's not looking good right now. But if they come back, they can win 2 games, I think.
Westbrook did sort of something similar with Houston as well. Remember when they went super small? Robert Covington was there big, and that got them to the playoffs at least. Didn't really work in the playoffs, so maybe there's something there. I mean, Frank Vogel's has got not many choices right now, not many options.
Yeah, this is really bad timing for Anthony Davis too. I wonder what does this mean for his status in going to Cleveland here for the top 75 celebration. I mean, by all accounts, he was on crutches when he was leaving the arena the other night. Now, the MRI, it's okay, I guess, this mid-foot sprain, but will he even be there?
He'll be there.
You think so?
Why would he not
turn
go?
it down? I mean, I don't know. I guess Shaq had a broken foot, and he missed the top 50.
That's a good point.
Is it a little Harden-esque? Hey, I got picked last, not coming.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because he's injured. He may not want to be getting on a plane and being on it.
Well, I mean, he hasn't lived up to his top 75 billing this season.
I know.
He's not an all-star this season. Maybe he says, I'll pass. I'll join later.
I don't know why I thought about this driving in. We were upset Dwight Howard was snubbed for the top 75.
Yes.
I think we should be more outraged that Jokic isn't on it either. I don't know. I'm just like, that's going to...
Let's hear your outrage.
I guess it's just, I'm just yelling in my car to myself and pounding on the steering wheel. It's because it's going to look silly. It's just the timing was weird. I get it, but they should have leaned into like they did with Shaq, really, back when he did the top 50. It was like, he only played 4 seasons, but
he wasn't
look at these
even an
numbers.
MVP at the time.
That's right. Right. You even feel like a little more confident in including him, I would say, at this point. But anyway.
I mean,
they
got 76 in already. I mean,
yeah. I'll make it 77 then at that point. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll get to some All-Star Weekend predictions. Don't go anywhere. Lee, I want to know.
Yes.
What'd you do for Valentine's Day? Anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Just had
Talk me through it.
Yeah, a romantic dinner at home with my wife for 14 years, and our
nice.
children were around, of course, so it was a family affair.
Okay, any gifts exchange, or you just did the dinner?
No gifts exchange, no.
Okay, yeah, so you kept it simple,
yes,
which is totally fine. Same here, just did the classic flowers. That's all right.
Yeah.
Called it at that. Nora was happy, but I got an email from Masterclass with a bunch of awesome ideas, awesome classes to look forward to and do and perfect for next year's Valentine's Day. And here's what I'm talking about. Think about this. Put together a stunning floral arrangement. So I bought flowers. That's next level if I actually put them together, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can learn that on Masterclass. How about this? What'd you have for dinner?
We had a pasta, Alfredo pasta.
What about make the most decadent pots de creme?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Throw decadent in front of it, you know it's good. Okay, you can do that
Right.
with the famous chef on Masterclass. How about stir up the ultimate martini?
Yeah, we're more wine drinkers than martinis, but
But switch it up. for
Why not?
Valentine's
Sure.
Day. Yeah, you
Valentine's
can
Day.
do that. You know,
Yeah.
world-class mixologist.
You
here
like
on
James
Masterclass.
Bond? He likes martinis.
Yeah. Or, I like this one. Curate the perfect playlist from Questlove himself on Masterclass.
He's telling you what to put on your playlist?
Maybe he's just telling. Well, I don't know. I haven't taken the class yet.
Wow.
But I'm going to explore this. All of 4 of those things I'm going to hopefully be doing next Valentine's Day. Maybe we can do it together.
well, you and me or our
No,
partners?
just you and me.
Oh, okay, sure.
We'll do a test run in January. We'll see how it goes. We'll try your martini. We'll try my pot de creme. And we'll go from there. But anyway, Masterclass, guys. We love it here on the show. Highly recommend you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass. And as a No Dunks listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. So you can do all of those classes that I just said. Go to masterclass.com/nodunks today. That's masterclass.com/nodunks. Terms apply.
It's a new year, but it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire the qualified people you need, especially for small businesses. That's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in. They make it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. I wish Danielle and I used LinkedIn for Moo Milk Bar back in the day. Yeah, we were using other sites and word of mouth to find bakers, and we were not getting results. Word of mouth just doesn't work in the baking industry. Hey, you know anyone who can bake? Works like a bat out of hell and likes eating leftover cookies, but not too many cookies, you know? We got to save some. That just doesn't work. Telling people, yeah, that doesn't work. LinkedIn, that would have helped. LinkedIn Jobs can create a free job post for you in minutes that reaches your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of only the most qualified. Then, use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. It makes sense. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/nodunks. That's linkedin.com/nodunks to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
I got back on the pickup basketball court recently, and let me tell you, it made me quite thankful for Peloton. Felt like I actually had my legs, had some strength, decadent body control.
Decadent. Wow.
Oh, decent body control. I had decent body control. In general, I just felt, surprisingly okay, and it's all thanks to the help of Aditi, Adrian, and Selena Samuela. With new classes, new music, and new ways to keep your workouts fun and motivating, Peloton is pushing you further. Peloton has a workout for every goal, day, and mood. De-stress from a long day with 30 minutes of strength and 20 minutes of cardio, or do a quick 15-minute total body class before work. You can get your yoga on, balance your body, holler at some meditation to get your mentals right, and they've even got something called dance cardio. Maybe that's like when you put on those jackets, zip them all the way up, just dance for 30 minutes straight. We should see if we can be instructors for that, just for one class. Just play that. It's a 10-minute workout of us dancing to the Inside the NBA theme song. I don't know if they've added that yet, but you can check if you go to onepeloton.com to see everything they've got to offer. That's onepeloton.com for more info.
All right, back with No Dunks here in the Classic Factory. Let's get to some All-Star Weekend predictions. You guys love All-Star Weekend, don't you? Oh, I'm a fanboy for it. Some people hate it. They're curmudgeons in my eyes, though. I'm like, who wants to watch these exhibition games? Get out of here, you old farts. It's fun. So let's make some predictions, because we are going to be watching it live together, kicking it here tomorrow night. Join us around 8 p.m. Eastern. to watch the skills and the 3-point contest and the dunk contest and all of that. Can't wait for that. But let's start with the skills. And then I've got some other sort of All-Star Weekend questions for you guys, including All-Star Game MVP. And we ask everybody in the stream team to make your predictions as well. But the skills challenge, to remind you, new format. Challenge points.
You think you have to remind me about the skills
you're a
challenge?
sicko too? You're a skills sicko?
Yeah, listen, I know we're starting with the best event here, but this is the event that is most forgettable when it comes to Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the event that people obviously don't care for that much. Those old farts, as you called them, I guess.
Yeah.
But this new format will make it better.
Okay, share the teams for the podcast listeners, Tass. Who we got here?
Yeah, so we have 3 teams. It used to be every man for himself. It used to be every individual. Then they went smallies, biggies.
Yeah.
It was usually a guard type format, but then they went smalls, bigs. Hey, we got to change it up to fix it. Here's another iteration.
Right.
This is them trying to fix it. So 3 teams. The first team is the Adetokounmbros, as they like their hashtag, the Adetokounmbos. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and Alex Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
The second team, the all-Cleveland team, being that it's in Cleveland, you got a big in Jared Allen, a slight big in Evan Mobley, who can handle, and Darius Garland, the all-star.
Right.
Along with Jared Allen as an all-star. I should have said that. And then the Rook crew. What a rookie class we've got. Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, and Josh Giddey. So let's not get too deep into it, but there's 3 rounds. There's 3 rounds, and there's a shooting round,
Right.
a passing round,
Yep.
and then a relay round.
Right.
So the shooting round, each member of the 3 teams goes to 5 different spots. So it's going to take, I think they get 30 seconds each guy, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds. Bang, 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 bang. Other guy comes shoot from these 5 spots. Bang, 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 bang. And then they get into a passing thing. You hit some oversized targets. That could be fun. I'm not sure what these
excited to
targets
see what
are.
they do with that one, because that's usually, to me, oddly my favorite part of the relay thing. That's where they always botch it.
Yeah.
They the
hard
bounce
to throw
pass
through
through
the
this
hole.
little hoop. It always it bounces out. So who knows what it's going to be more extensive.
Passes into oversized moving targets to score points.
Moving targets. Wow, cool.
Cool. It's like a Patrick
Nice,
Mahomes
yeah,
situation.
Yeah, it's like the old
Very
football
Mahomes.
one.
And then a relay similar in format to what we've seen in the past.
Right.
A mix of passing, dribbling, and shooting. So people will say, you got to favor the little guys. I say anyone can win this thing.
Who won it last year, Lee? The skills challenge.
Great question, and I'm glad you asked me. The only skills challenge I think I remember is Tatum hitting a half quarter to win it, didn't he?
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
5 years or something.
But we saw Patrick Beverly in person. I remember that because that was shocking.
Where were you? When Patrick
So he won it.
Beverly
He won it. Patrick Beverly.
I think, and I only know this because I saw Trey tweeting with Tom Ziller this morning, Sabonis won it.
Right.
Yeah, last year.
Bigs have won it. Porzingis has won it. Any team can win. Now I
Any
guess
team could win.
A little can win. A big can. It's not a little or big. It's a whole team.
It's a whole
They combine
team.
scores or whatever.
And then there is a half-court shooting element to this too at the end. That's I
part
guess
of it.
round 4, if you want to call it that.
think
The two
it's
teams.
part of the.
Yeah.
It's part of. Well, yeah. 2 teams advance. Yeah. Whatever. Yes, there will be half-court shots.
Yeah. No, it's sort of its own separate event. I believe the top 2 teams after those 3 that you took us through
Yeah,
have
they
a
advance.
half-court battle. Yeah.
Cool
All right,
luck.
so,
yeah.
all that's to say, who's your prediction? Trey, get us started.
Well, I mean, I know we're all huge skills challenge fans. There's dozens of us out there at this point. My first inclination is to go with Team Cleveland. Home court advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing in their own confines. It's really going to mean a lot. Plus, they've got an all-star guard, which I think is kind of the trump card here. Having a guard who is good at this,
Yeah.
he would probably be picked for the real skills challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else would. Though I will say my second choice would be the rookies. They've got a nice collection of guys who can all handle, pass, and shoot. What I'm saying is I think
Can
the
they shoot, though?
Antetokounmpos come in third.
Can Josh Giddey and
Cade can
Scotty
shoot.
Barnes shoot?
Scotty
Yes.
Barnes might get replaced.
Oh, okay, because
Yeah.
of injury. So
Oh, they didn't make it a...
No,
they gotta
there's some
fly.
weather
Yeah.
issues right now.
Yeah.
Precious Achua and Scotty Barnes are still in Toronto, and
Yeah.
they're missing Rising Stars media availability.
Yeah.
And there's some concern that they're not going to get to the game in time
Yeah.
tonight. But by Saturday, I would hope they have gotten there.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
the
they can
skills.
start driving now.
At least Scotty. So
yeah, they do have more shooters than others. The Adetokounmbros, not shooters, but I'm going with that brotherly push.
yeah,
The
I
energy,
like that thinking.
the energy will be there. And yeah, it should be with Cleveland too. But the Rooks, I don't know. I don't know how you.
Okay. So who are you ultimately taking?
Cavs.
You're taking Cavs.
Yeah.
You're taking.
I'm taking the
You're taking the
Greeks.
Bros. Taking the Greeks.
I'm playing the homer card.
Oh, yeah, you have
of
to,
course.
rookies.
But also with the moving target, have you seen some of those sling passes Josh Giddey throws? This is going to be right in his alley.
He should dominate that.
You know,
They giving style points this year?
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, so you're going the Rooks. So,
Have to,
all right,
have to.
so that leaves me. I'll be doubling up with somebody here. I was just looking at the odds for this. Yes, you can bet on this. Oh wait, yeah, you can. The Rooks are favorites, followed by the Cavs, and then it's the Greek Bros there. But I like your thinking. I think Giannis especially. Let's get this for Alex. Let's go do this. Let's get a photo. Good photo of us holding the trophy.
Bulletin board material. They don't believe in us. No one believes in the entity.
Vegas doesn't believe in us. They're going to use that.
Prove them.
Yeah. So I'm with you.
Yeah, they're going to get to the finals. Can you bet on that? Who will get to the finals of the skills
bet on
challenge?
anything, man.
But I am worried about the half-court shooting when it comes down to it of Giannis Thanasis.
I think they got the best chance of making those shots
Interesting.
than like a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
I think if the Antetokounmpos win and a G League player wins the skills challenge, they should cancel the skills challenge. It'll be hard to see it go as the jewel of All-Star Saturday night, but if a G League player wins it, it's over.
And
It's more
So
skilled than-
Giannis is going to try and end it forever.
Yeah, if we're saying that the most skilled player in basketball doesn't play in the NBA, they got to get rid of it.
I know they want to eat some time and they've got a sponsor on this thing, but the most excited we get and the most excited the players get is when we talk about the half-court shots.
Half-court shots.
Yeah,
man.
They
They're
love
awesome.
doing that at the end
Yeah,
of
it's
practice.
great.
They have the competitions. They put money on it.
Yeah.
What the hell are they waiting for? Just get it going. I hope.
Just half-court shots.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't have to be a shooting stars thing, I don't think.
Okay.
I mean,
All
it
right.
can be long enough if you're thinking about formatting it.
Oh, by the way, somebody out there in the stream team, do me a favor and keep track of all of our predictions here because we might have to put something on the line tomorrow night. So let's get to the 3-point contest. And in fact, there's 8 shooters. There's 4 of us. Let's pick our favorites to win it, and then we'll have a backup.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna be forced to not being oh, we all like X. Let's make this interesting tomorrow night with our watch party. So, well, I almost feel like we should let Lee pick first
he
because
loves
you are
shooting.
the 3-point shooter of the bunch. So Desmond Bain, Luke Kennard, who had a little practice last night, going 8 for 9? Yeah,
Career high at 8.
Yeah, Zach LaVine. I mean, as far as we know, he's still in it. They haven't said otherwise. CJ McCollum had a big game. We didn't even talk about him versus Luka and the Mavericks last night. He put up some points. We've got Patty Mills, Karl Anthony Towns, the big in this, Fred VanVleet, and Trae Young. So Lee, you make your first pick.
Yeah, I'm going to play the homer card again. Why not? Go with Paddy. He's having a great season. I would love to see him win. I'd love to see an Australian win it because history could be made. It could be an Australian win it. We could have the first time a dunk champ has won the 3-point shootout in Zach LaVine. We could have a lefty in Lukey.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, history's there to be made. But I'm going with Patty Mills. Why wouldn't I?
Okay. All right. Trey, you're up next. Who's your pick?
Are we going full homers this round?
Yeah, go nuts.
Okay, give me Zach LaVine.
All
He's
right.
not actually my favorite, but after the All-Star draft, I did feel bad that you guys got both of the Bulls, so I'm going to have to go with Zach LaVine. Though, I don't know. He just jumps too high for me. He jumps too high for it to be replicable in a 3-point contest, which I think is kind of a disadvantage. You want a nice, short, compact stroke, but I got to get my guy early on.
All right, Tess.
You go ahead.
You want me to- Oh, look at
Because
you.
you've been more of a homer than I have. You've worn the Raptors jersey more than I have, so
Oh, Homer. Okay,
That's
let's
up to
make
you.
it 3 for 3.
I'm just trying to force you to.
Yeah, why not? Give me Fred VanVleet.
The knee. There's a knee issue there.
There's a
There's
knee
bugging.
issue.
Gotcha.
I'm not convinced, and I know this is what Fred wants. He wants me to doubt him. He loves that. He wants to bet on himself all the time, and he always wins. So he's gonna make me look silly or make people look silly. But I can't see him with the rack. I don't know what it is. I see him more of as a little bit off the dribble guy. But I'll take Freddie. Yep.
Okay. Are we going snake here? I should get 2 picks.
Oh,
I
sure.
think.
Sure. That's fine. You sneaky bastard. All right.
Well, it's the same thing, you guys. It's got to be a snake.
All right.
It's got to be.
You got the next 2 picks.
Yeah, Homer, I live in Atlanta. Give me Trae Young.
Yeah, that's
got to
a good
bounce
pick.
back. You got to bounce back after what happened in Chicago. We didn't have a good one a couple years ago. And Desmond Bain.
Ooh, I wanted Desmond.
The muscularity, I think, will take him through the couple rounds
Yeah, look at those
pretty
guns
smoothly.
there.
He's not going to get tired dragging around all that weight, all those muscles. He'll be all right. He's tough.
Okay, back to me then. Give me the Nard Dog. History will be made tomorrow night with the lefty winning this thing, and I liked what I saw last night there in the blowout victory. So yeah, I'll take Luke.
His photo's creeping me out there. He's like,
Yeah.
he's sickos. You
Look
know?
at his eyes.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we're taking a photo here.
Yeah.
All right, so back to I guess Trey.
Trey, yeah.
Yep. It's Towns or McCollum.
Yeah, man's got to have a dog. But I'm going with Cat.
Oh wow.
He's got an easy replicable stroke as well. Big guy though. A little nervous on a big guy, but I do like that Towns basically shoots a set shot.
Yeah.
Like he ain't
help,
putting a
yeah.
lot of legs into it.
Okay.
And you got to
CJ.
travel a little
CJ.
more too.
Right. I'll
You got to
take
travel
CJ.
a little bit more with the big man. You got to go up to that Mountain Dew spot because there's the extra 2 balls.
right.
Has to take
He's got
another
longer
4 steps.
legs though.
Okay.
His legs are long.
Who's going to be the best at the bombs then? The dew bombs. I guess Trey Young.
Trey Young
Trey's
should be,
good.
yeah.
Fred VanVleet.
yeah.
Yeah, he's sneaky. He's got some distance to his threes. Okay, so you get McCollum there.
Yep.
And then let's get to the dunk contest. So this one's going to be interesting. Somebody's going to be stuck with JTA.
Think he's going fourth here?
Yeah, I think so. So who goes first? I guess
Well,
it's
I guess
not
I
it's
go
not Lee.
last, yeah.
And Trey did sort of get the first crack at the skills because he loves it.
I love the
So
skills.
Tass, here we go. Tass, you get the first one. I'll go next.
Sweet. Yes, it's between 2 guys for me, but I'm going with Cole Anthony.
Wow.
I did some homework here, watching him in some Florida dunk contests. I think he's got the most to offer, and I think his size helps. You got to go with it. You got to go with a tiny guy, and he is the smallest guy by a couple inches. I didn't think that just when I saw the roster here. I thought Jalen Green maybe the same size, but Cole Anthony's a couple inches shorter, which helps. But I think he's got more. Watching Jalen Green, the next pick in this draft here, I assume.
Yep, that's my pick.
Yeah,
I'll take the favorite. Vegas says
the
he's
same. I think it's the same dunk a lot of the time.
Yeah, but he looks cool as shit when he dunks.
Yeah, he throws down.
Yeah. I mean, who knows
looks
what he's
cool.
actually going to try. We know this whole NFT thing is going to be in play here. Top Shot. So that could go wrong, I guess, but I'll take him. By the way, Jalen Green's the favorite. Obi Toppin is next, and then Cole Anthony third.
Cole's got some history through the legs, over guys. That's what the YouTube says.
Let's go Trey next. Sorry. Yeah,
That's all right. I've got one Toscano answer. I just
Okay,
know
so
it.
you're taking Obi
I'm
Toppin.
gonna go Obi.
Okay.
Gotta go be Obi.
Okay, so the big guy. Always tough for a big guy to win, but he has some experience. I always like a guy that's been in it before, even though it was a weird one last year.
I was doing some research this morning in the shower. I had him second on my draft board. My research was like thinking of who I would pick.
Okay.
Number 1 was Jalen Green.
All right, well,
I was bored last night.
Let's hear from the stream team. Who are you taking in all 3 of those events on Saturday night? And again, we'll be doing our watch party, and we'll, I don't know, we got to figure out either what the winner gets or whoever. Now, let's just figure out what the winner gets. Anything come to mind?
As he looks around like a
I don't know.
Peloton.
Yeah. You get a massage from JD. What about that?
Interesting.
Okay. Weird. Couple other questions. Rising Stars tonight. New format on that
Sick.
one. You gonna be watching?
Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course I will. Do I know what's happening? No. Not really. I'm excited to see these guys shooting from the legendary spots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hope
there's
they're
that.
going for the reenactments rather than just the rote shooting of shots.
Right.
If you don't shoot a hook shot from Magic Johnson's spot, it doesn't count in my book.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, the Elam ending, it's got to help. Because Rising Stars, to me, worse than the celebrity game in general. But maybe having this there to have the guys playing for something at the end actually will help.
Yeah, the final target score 50 in the first 2 games, and then 25 in the final game between the 2 winners.
Yeah. It has been forgettable. The Friday nights have been forgettable unless somebody's clowning somebody, unless there's a bounce alley-oop, bounce pass alley-oop, which has been cool. Those singular plays. But now we got 3 Elam endings on Friday night. So maybe we'll see that.
Hey, can I? You guys keep saying that. Are they Elam endings when they're a final target score? Is it the same thing? Yeah.
I thought that's what it was.
That's what the definition of an Elam ending is.
I'm legit asking.
What? Yeah.
Well,
Maybe it isn't. But I thought it was.
well, but there's a difference, right? Because in an All-Star game, they weren't saying first to 100 wins. They weren't saying like first to this score wins, which is what they're doing in these games.
Well, they would get they'd play 3 quarters, and then they'd say first to 24 in honor of Kobe Bryant.
Right.
He was first to 24.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, but then they played the first. Yeah, okay. I thought there was a small difference.
Sort of
All right,
thing.
same idea. What? You excited for this? This is a 9 p.m. start for you on Friday night. Yeah. It's a bit later.
Celebrity at 7.
I'm a little worried about you watching this. You'll be watching the highlights, I have a feeling.
Yes, and I'll be enjoying those highlights, and I'll be taking notes and looking forward to it.
And we could do the whole thing. Are you team Isaiah? You team Rick Barry? You team Worthy? You team Peyton? But I don't want to show you the teams again. And we've had subs like Kuminga's in, Bones Highland's in. Who knows if half these guys are going to show up with the weather? I don't know.
You've been talking about Busy Bone. I think it's Busy Bone.
Oh yeah.
Wearing the Cavs jersey that you're wearing right now.
First of the month.
Bones Highland is obviously his nickname is Bones. His Twitter handle is Busy Bone. It's in Cleveland. It's got to be sometime.
Are they doing a Rising Stars MVP? You'd think so.
Yeah, sure.
They have been over the years. Okay.
Yeah. I like Bones. That's a good pick.
Wow.
Bones, Thugs, and Harmony. In Cleveland. Wow.
Best guess, Lee, at how Cleveland's going to celebrate the NBA 75, really 76.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get all the players out on the court at some point.
Yep.
I just don't think we're going to see the same thing we saw 25 years ago.
This guy is convinced we're not getting leather jackets.
No. But some sort of acknowledgement of... Because a lot of the players actually are no longer with us as well. So there's probably only around 50 or so who actually will be there in attendance. And maybe some like Davis might be not there as well. But I think it'll just be like, hey, this guy won 4 championships and 2 MVPs or whatever. And give it up for him.
There'll be a quick introduction for each player on the
so.
75/76 list. Okay.
Yeah.
But no jackets, unfortunately.
I don't think so. But maybe they'll be like, let's just run it back because everyone still remembers it. So let's do it again.
All right. What you're team jackets.
I'm team jackets. The jackets are mentioned too often by people that are actually connected to the league. Like Ernie Johnson mentioned jackets when they were showing Charles Barkley's, behind the scenes footage last night, and I was like, if Ernie knows about the jackets, everybody knows about the jackets. So I think we're gonna get like a 2022 version of the jackets. I don't think that they'll be exactly the same, but I think there'll be something memorable that they give to everybody that kind of relates to their career when they do these introductions. And I assume it'll all be at halftime. I don't know why. I just think they're going to run everything back from 1997.
I sort of do too. What do you think?
I think that have been scouring the internet I'm looking at the Athletic Live blog just for a clue. Because that's how I am. I just need to dig, but now I got nothing.
What about this? Just hit me. Common introduces all 75/76 greatest players of all time with a slick bar.
He can hit a hook shot from very far. Ladies and gentlemen, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
We should have wrote these. Do we still have time to do this? It's not till Sunday.
Yeah.
What do you do for Hal Greer?
Ladies and gentlemen, he's putting flavor in your ear. The one and only Hal Greer.
This is the way to go. And maybe add a little little rock and roll vibe. We're in Cleveland.
I love it.
Yeah. Get Kevin O'Connor on shredding a little bit.
Hey, man, I love the common lines. I remember I did it last year for you guys.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it
for all of them. Anthony Anderson is part of the halftime something. I saw his name.
Okay. He's always a part of it.
There's a concert. So they're going to be there. But yeah, let's get the common.
Okay. And then
who else? Let's drop some bars.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think which player. Lee's looking at it. Which player will be the most difficult for Common to come up with?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Well, he's already done it though.
Yeah.
Or was that Drake?
No, that was Drake. Yeah.
Right. Bleeding together. If you have a bar because you see something from Sam Jones you like, go nuts.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
He's used to shepherding cattle and steer. But he loves basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hal Greer.
Oh, Hal Greer gets 2.
Yeah. Why, we're workshopping here. Did you know he's a farmer? Me neither.
What do you got, Lee? Come on, give us
In
one.
his top 75 jacket, he's dripping from the Chicago Bulls.
It's
Scottie Pippen.
You don't got nothing for Dolph Shays?
When you were on the court, you would do what he says. It is.
From J.J. Redick, he's lacking praise. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dolph Shays. That's a basketball one. That's a basketball one. Did you know Dolph Shays has only shot 38% from the floor? J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick, let it be known.
Oh man, okay. If you know what?
Jokes got me feeling woozy, ladies and gentlemen. It's Bob Cousy.
Okay, we need a line for every player from everybody in the stream team right now, from everybody listening later, watching later. Drop your best common like bars for all of the top 75 players. I love this. Maybe we'll compile them or something.
A good comment from Ty Winter in the stream team.
Yes.
Dave DeBuscher might be a tough one.
Oh,
Is he on the top list? It's for sure. It's Dave.
Horrible.
oh, come on, man. Usually you're money. Usually you're a swisher. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dave DeBuscher. Something about him hitting shots. Come on, man. Nick Swisher. Maybe Nick Swisher. Do that one.
Oh, Clyde Drexler.
Don't call him AC Green because he'd never sex her. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Clyde Drexler.
Poor AC Green, not named to the list.
Everybody's going vegan these days. Clyde likes to eat at Wexler's. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Clyde Drexler.
Joel Embiid broke his record streak for scoring exactly 31 points in a game this year. Who? It's Bob McAdoo.
Bob. What about
Yeah, that one needs some workshopping, but there's something
Shit, it does. Okay, well, let's hear your common like lines there. I guess my final question with All-Star Weekend here. I don't know why I'm finding this so funny. All-Star Game MVP. I'm not even asking you who's going to win the game. Are you Team LeBron? Are you Team Durant? I mean, LeBron's going to win. Team
LeBron's going to win.
He always does.
4-0.
But All-Star Game MVP, I always love this question because you can like talk yourself into the narrative part. Like
You can.
either who's the great player in the game that doesn't have one, because they all like to try and accumulate one. We've seen that before. Where the game is might come into play with being in Cleveland. Does that mean obviously a Cavs player or like LeBron going back? You know, so you go first. What's your reason behind your All-Star Game MVP prediction?
I'm talking myself into LeBron.
Yeah.
Being in Cleveland.
Throwback.
Better team. I mean, he's got a ridiculous team. The way his starters are just high. He's got the top 3 scorers in the game, and then he's got Steph, and then he's got his other who's
Steph, DeRozan, LeBron, Jokic.
Jokic is his other guy. That's starting lineup.
Pretty
so
good.
I think somebody from that 5 is going to get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's this Cleveland feeling in me. I think they'll just love him out there.
Okay. Trey.
That's a really good pick, actually.
Yeah.
I also like how at the All-Star draft he wouldn't trade away Darius Garland because he needed protection for coming back to Cleveland. He's got something on his mind.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. A little bit of me feels like I have to take Jared Allen.
You almost got him.
Nah, I'm not going to. I'm going to take the other guy you're talking me into, Skeets. DeMar DeRozan!
Sure. I love it.
He's a beloved player amongst other players.
Yes.
Obviously doesn't have an all-star MVP, and his shot making right now is incredible. So I figure he'll probably get fed a little bit, get a whole bunch of points, have some throwback cool dunks. You know, we don't see him quite as much anymore, but he can still get up and throw down. So give me DDR.
I like that little addition there to the narrative aspect of the All-Star Game MVP. Who do the other players sometimes want to help try and get there? Okay, so you're going DeRozan. 14-1 odds on DeRozan. LeBron 5-1 odds. Where are you going?
The only thing is with the older guys, they know they can sort of just take their pace and.
It's the problem with the LeBron pick even.
Exactly.
He might just be like, I
He's
don't
won
care.
this a ton of times, you know. So I'm going with a guy who's on the biggest stage for the first time, and he doesn't know how to do anything other than put up highlights.
John Morant.
John Morant.
7-1 odds.
Yeah.
Okay. Who doesn't have one that is like an elite player in the league? Steph Curry, I don't think, has an All-Star Game MVP, which is a little strange. Giannis does, right?
Last year.
Jokic doesn't. Embiid doesn't. You know what? Give me Curry.
Sure.
But it's a strange one. It's like he's going to obviously just fire up a bunch of threes, and is he going to hit them or not? He struggled at times in these games, which is just weird. So I'll go Steph Curry, though. You know, you could talk me into a Luka, Jokic. You can go on and on and on. I love the DeRozan pick too. I'd put some coin on 14-1. I like those odds. All right, let's hear from everybody out there in the stream team. As you can tell, we're very excited for All-Star Weekend, and for the final time, I'll remind you here. Well, I'll probably remind you at the end of the show one more time, but we got the watch party tomorrow night around 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here in the Classic Factory watching all of the events and just hanging out and talking about them and chatting with you guys in the stream team. So join us for that. We're going to take one more break. Then we got Tweet of the Night, little callback. That's your tease for you, and some rapid fire fun. Don't go anywhere.
Athletic Greens. They got me with the name. I pretend to be an athlete, and I know I need my greens. Done and done. Also, it's a powder, not a pill. I'm not big into the huge horse pill vitamins, as I've said.
Yeah, you hate that.
I know Trey and Skeets were making fun of me. I think it was on New Year's Eve. They're saying, "Oh, you've got a small throat." First thing in the morning, especially first thing in the morning, I don't want a horse pill. It's too early. That's when I'm taking my multivitamin. That's when I'm taking my Athletic Greens. How does a pill go down the wrong tube? How does water go down the wrong tube? That's a question for a scientist out there. How many tubes do you have in your throat? I thought there was just one, but sometimes I have a horse pill venturing in the wrong tube and I don't like it. And recently I figured out how to perfect my Athletic Greens. I was putting the greens directly into the cup, then adding the water. But it was a bit like going by a construction site. There's floating particles everywhere when I was dumping the powder directly into the cup. Now I'm going water, then putting the powder in. It's a nice combo. Things are cleaner in my house, and I'm getting 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help me start my day right. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially during the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's right. Water first, then the powder. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/nodunks. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/nodunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Thanks to Edmunds for sponsoring the show today. Car shopping, not a fun experience. Last time I bought a car a few years ago, I did not enjoy it at all. Didn't like the sales rep, certainly didn't like the dealership. There was actually a fan of our show in there, though. I got a photo with him. That was the only good part of the experience. True story. True story. Yeah. But car shopping, you just feel dirty afterwards, you know? Like, it's a bad experience. So, and that wasn't fun a few years ago. This year could get even trickier because there's a projected shortage of inventory.
There's no cars.
There's no cars out there, which is crazy. I see tons of them on the road, but apparently there's not any for sale. Edmunds goes the extra mile to make car buying easier by providing shoppers with honest car reviews, video test drives, online shopping tools, and the latest consumer advice. Before I do anything these days, I was buying on Amazon the other day washing up gloves, right, to do the dishes in, right?
Dish gloves?
Washing up gloves, yeah, like, right? Yeah. I read the reviews before I bought
gloves,
them. Yeah. No, but see, you've got to make sure you get the right ones that don't get...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is...
Please, call them dogs.
What are your cats? But the
Cats.
My cats and my dogs.
Yeah,
now,
cat
before
gloves.
you make
I
any
gotcha.
purchase, you read the reviews, you know, because that's the best way. You don't always have to trust the company because they're not going to say, oh, well, our product's this or that. So you let the people who have experienced it talk about it.
You're telling me you're reading reviews for
Rubber gloves.
Rubber gloves.
On Amazon. I know.
people
it's
have
crazy.
way too much time.
I know. The Edmunds homepage has car rankings compiled by their review editors. From there, shoppers can pick top-ranked vehicles and do side-by-side comparison by clicking on the compare box. That's like NBA.com stats. You can do the same thing for Edmunds here. I wonder if they got their own Schumann there at Smith's.
I bet they do.
Check out Edmunds' unbiased research, reviews, and industry expertise to help empower car shoppers to make the best decisions. Car shopping can be overwhelming, absolutely true. Edmunds is here to help. Visit edmunds.com and click on Edmunds' best car rankings to research and compare vehicles. That's EDMUNDS.com. Edmunds, we drive it like it is.
All right, back with No Dunks. Stream team having some fun with our request for common-like introductions for the top 75 players of all time. I like this from AJ. He came, he saw, he's done it all in one. Ladies and gentlemen, Hakeem Olajuwon. Good one. You can see that being a real one. Okay, let's get to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Well, it's an email. It ain't a tweet.
We really got to change the name of this segment.
That's my favorite start to any tweet of the week.
I don't even know if we had an actual tweet this week for tweet of the night. We had a lot of Instagrams. Now we got an email. Okay.
Yeah, had to follow up the Instagram yesterday with, hey, it's an email. It's a follow-up email, though. From the beginning of the season, a fan of ours, Danny, he sent us his predicament. He was going to New York for Valentine's Day weekend. He could only go to one game. He could only drag his wife to one game. And he told us to pick the Knicks at home to the OKC Thunder or Brooklyn at home to Sacramento. I think it was a pretty divided table. And in the end,
we had a good debate about it.
Yeah, and he heard us wondering a couple days ago, so he sent us the response.
All right.
Danny, emailing in. I decided to go with the Mecca and can safely say MSG deserves better. Yes. The Knicks suck. And Julius Randle has the attitude of a star, but not the quality to back it up. Interesting. I did, however, get to see Josh Giddey, a true star in the making.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's a giddy man. He put on a show and provided silky dishes and hair strokes. Even my wife, who I was explaining the rules to as we watched, could tell he was by far the best player on the court. And we're showing you a snapshot of Danny's wife here in front of MSG, in front of the floor there. The twist, though. Here's a twist from Danny's email. As my wife and I are also into history, I was able to get a little day trip to Philadelphia where we were able to watch the 76ers take on the Cavs.
Wow.
And man, what a game. A 40-piece triple-double from Joel Embiid with a monster dunk that Saturday night. Way to go, Danny. Yes, I have the best wife, and yes, she did get her own back by putting a big hole in my credit card on 5th Avenue. End of email.
All right,
so awesome. He got to see.
So he made the right call, ultimately. We did decide that between the Barclays game that he would have got and the one he got at MSG. He did.
He worked out. At the beginning, our debate was the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to go see Brooklyn. You get Durant. You get one of the best
I
ever.
understand.
You get Harden. That didn't happen.
Nope.
Neither guy.
Instead, he got MSG and
or an
Giddey's
Irving.
flow.
I guess he would have saw that was the Seth Curry and Andre Drummond starring that game. Or he went to the Knicks game and he saw a triple double from Josh Giddey. Yeah, he picked the right game. There's no doubt. And he got to Philadelphia. That was the game. A 40-point performance from Joel Embiid.
Feel good about that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Good on you, Danny.
Yeah, good on you, Danny. Seeing Joshy in the garden.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Great. Pick 'em results from last night. We obviously have no game to pick tonight. We'll take a little break. But it was Dallas, New Orleans. Mavs were favored by 2.5 on the road. This brought to you by BetMGM. Everybody knows that by now. And Dallas came through. Though, like I said, I got a little
overzealous.
Yeah, overzealous is probably the right word.
You just like to get in there.
Yeah, I just let's get it done. They were up 20 plus. It was like, 8 minutes ago. I'm like, they're not losing this. They're covering this. And then it was like, but they pulled it out in the end. Dallas gets the win. I'm 10-3 in February. Lee's 9-4 because you had the Mavs. Trey 6-7. He needed that one. That was a good one for him. And Tass swerved and took the Pels, and they came up a little short. So you fall to 4-9.
Not good.
And by the time we come back with games, there's like
three
maybe
more nights.
Wow, in February, yeah, short month.
It's a short one. It's not a leap year.
That would have helped you out. So yeah, right now 10-3, 9-4, and then 6-7 and 4-9. But it's still close enough to between Trey and Tass to ultimately see who's last place. You don't want to be last place because then you gotta do the pick and payoff, and it might be wearing a dog shot collar on the show like I did earlier this week. Go check that video up on our No Dunks YouTube feed. Okay. Let's wrap up this Drop podcast with some rapid fire fun. JD, you got the questions this week, and we got the answers.
I do. Okay, yes. We're all good. We're all good here. Okay, last week we were treated to a Super Bowl commercial featuring present-day LeBron talking to a young LeBron circa 2003. 2003, 2003.
2003.
I don't know how to say that anymore.
No, 2003.
2003, yeah.
03, I guess you could say.
He was talking to himself in 2003. What advice would you have for the 2003 version of yourself, Tass?
2003. That was 2 years after I bought season seats with my buddies for the Toronto Raptors. We were up there in the nosebleeds. We saw Vince Carter was going to the playoffs. Oh yeah, we can put some money down. I think he literally had to. Was it 50 or 500 we put down? Anyways, I think it was 50.
$50
to put down. Yeah, I mean the seats were cheap. I wasn't making money.
Up in the nose,
I was spending $25 a ticket. I was only getting 10 tickets. Only a $250 investment. Anyway, I would tell myself then, don't go back, son.
Oh,
Don't go back.
What?
You've got another decade. Just don't renew those tickets. You've got another decade of abysmal play. You've seen the best that you will see before you move to Atlanta in 2013. I won't tell myself that because that would change. That's a butterfly effect. But I would just say don't do it because they went to the playoffs. Saw them against the Sixers. Saw them against the Knicks. And then there was an abysmal series against the Pistons the next season. But that's it. They peaked. So, yeah, don't do it.
Save your $250.
Give up.
Wow, Lily.
Yeah, well, after the 2000 Olympics were in Sydney, but I was in Greece and I missed them. I said, I'm definitely going to Athens in 2004. That's it. I'm going to the Olympics. But instead, what I should have done is gone to India because Australia went to play cricket in India and won for the first time in forever. And I should have said to myself, wait for Beijing. You're going to want to go to Beijing for the Olympics to see Usain Bolt smash records in the 100s and the 200.
Old Liel is showing up saying, wait for Beijing.
Yeah, man. Don't go to India because now, you're married, you've got a couple of kids. That India trip is now deep in the radar. I could have gone, no kids, no wife, so that would have been the time to go. And Australia won, so now I can't go back and have that monumental moment either. It's like it's happened already. So skip Athens. Go to India and then go to Beijing.
How dare you skip Athens? Wow. You can go to India. It's not that far.
It's not the distance. It's more
I know.
I was talking to my friend.
You're saying the complications with kids, maybe.
Yeah, with kids. And I was talking with one of my friends who went there for business. He was walking along, and one of his friends just fell down a hole in the road.
That's a cartoon.
It sounds like it, yeah. And he's like, it was crazy. We were just walking along, and then there was just a hole that was kind of covered up, and he went boom straight down it.
Was he okay?
Oh, they had to get him out. It took a couple of hours to get him out. Yeah.
What?
Like he fell down, and it was over his head, and he's like, "Get me out!" And they're like, "How?"
Okay, well, maybe don't take your kids there, I guess.
No, exactly. Imagine you're walking along holding hands. It's like, whoops, crazy.
Oh, that could happen in Athens for sure. You see those holes?
You're not wrong.
That could happen on DeKalb here in Atlanta.
I'm not saying Athens was a bad experience. It was a great Olympics.
Thank you.
I would rather. There was no Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
100 meters wasn't all that flash in Athens.
No.
Get to Beijing. That's where it really happened.
That was the year for Usain, right? That was his first.
In the 2008. Yeah.
Okay.
Skeets.
I promised JD, this is not a cop-out because I didn't have an answer, but Tass alluded to it. I'm saying nothing. There's no way current Skeets is interacting back with 03 Skeets because I'm worried about the butterfly effect. Any sort of thing I say, any bet I would tell, hey, buy Apple stock or something like that. I don't know. The effects could be huge. We could not be doing this show for crying out loud. So
All right.
I'm just not touching it. I'll just observe young Skeets from afar.
I think you could take him in a game of one-on-one?
Oh, I don't mind that idea. Yeah, hell yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Could I currently, 41-year-old Skeets, take 23-year-old Skeets in a game of one-on-one?
Would you take him into the post? I mean, he's probably a bit quicker than you.
He definitely is quicker than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to just get the craftiness.
Yeah. You'd think so. The experience should get him over the line. Yes.
Wisdom plays into it for sure. All right, next one. Charles Barkley is turning 59 on Sunday. He'll be 61 when his contract with TNT expires. And he said he's probably not coming back. Bummer. Quote, he says, he didn't say quote. I'm saying quote. I'll be 61 when I finish out my contract. I don't want to die on TV. I want to die on the golf course or somewhere fishing. I don't want to be sitting next to fat-ass old Shaq and drop dead. Tassie, where do you want to die?
Wow. I hope Chucky doesn't retire.
Yeah.
It's too soon, Chuck. Come on. Are you gonna collect your Social Security, man? Just. Anyways, I hope he stays on. Where do I want to die? Tough question. Outdoors, I'll be closer to heaven. Don't have to go through a roof. You know what I mean? I think what's heavenly about outdoors, the Winter Classic hockey game. I want to be watching the Winter Classic hockey game, eating a Fun Dip probably. And if there is no heaven, maybe they can put me at center ice and I can get hoovered up by the aliens.
Wow.
So, I'm playing both sides here.
Unexpected, and I love it.
That was an unexpected question. I gotta go weird.
We're running out of questions, to be honest.
I told Nora this was one of the questions today. She goes, "You guys should maybe stop doing rapid fire, asking how and where you want to die." But yeah.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun. Lily.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know how to answer this one, but so I thought, well, I've had a couple of close experiences. Like I had the guy in my room in Brazil. I could have been murdered then. Nearly drowned once. Could
have went to India.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And that's kind of where I'm going. I want it to be something. Like I was once on a flight from London to Singapore. And there was a girl sitting by the window, a spare seater than me, and she just said, "It's a long flight. Do you want a tablet?" And because she was pretty, I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I took it
Because she was pretty.
and I took it. And then it wasn't until halfway through the flight I was like, God, she could, maybe she was going to drug me, and when we get to Singapore, she was going to, I don't know, do something to me, steal my kidney. You hear about that sort of stuff.
True.
And
it's hard to carry a grown man off of a plane to steal his kidneys.
Hold on. When you said tablet, I thought you meant at first an iPad.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We didn't have tablets back then.
So was it like a mint?
It was I think she said it was a sleeping tablet, but I sort of...
Now it makes a little
I got so anxious after I took it, thinking I might die, that I was just hyped up the whole coffee. You're not gonna steal my kidney.
Wow.
So I think that's how I'd like it actually to be. Is he was just taking a sleeping tablet and he died on his way to India.
On his way to Singapore to take a dump in the airport. He
said one last thing before I go. Never made it.
Oh, God.
So typical Lee. The question is, where do you want to die? Not how do you want to die, but
somewhere over India.
Somewhere over India. Is that not a bad way to go?
Yeah, that's what it sounds
Bye-bye.
Skeets.
Well, Chuck says he doesn't want to die on TV, but I want to die on a podcast. I want to die right here in the Classic Factory, with the bright pink neon glowing lights of our sign, the last thing I see, or maybe a final embrace the day people as I, go off to wherever the hell I'm going.
That could have happened this week with the dog talk. I just had to turn it up.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I was very close to death. But yeah, right here in the Classic Factory.
All right, last one. This week, Lee told us he went deep while shopping for washing up gloves on Amazon. He dove right into those customer reviews to find the perfect pair. Hey, great news. He loves them. And bonus, it was BOGO. Buy one, get one. Tass, tell us about a time your research really paid off.
Well, that's not a great answer. I bought a kayak recently. Mm-hmm. They were inflated because of the shortage here.
Oh, I thought you bought an inflatable kayak.
No, I thought about it, and that was suggested. Inflatable kayaks are very durable, surprisingly. The Army uses them, so they are. But you got to have a nice wide wingspan because they are. The flanks they're bigger.
Oh,
you got to go out. You got to go. You can't turn as fast. Anyway, I bought a kayak.
Okay,
I like it.
Nice.
Even though they're costlier because of the supply chain.
Right.
But listen.
Worth it.
Don't blame that on our president, okay? Don't do that. Anyways, it's
how much research did you do?
I did for a while.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I was talking to guys who went out in some real rapids, saw some whales in the Yaks.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Whales in the
Where there's rapids, there are whales?
No.
Deep river.
No, just so
Lost whale too.
This is the coast of Georgia.
What the hell am I doing out here?
There's currently whales every year. Whales come from go from Alaska to Maui.
Yeah.
That's pretty far, man.
That's awesome. Vacation.
Yeah. Anyways, see you later.
Right, Lee?
Yeah. So, back in the old days as well, when we used to have to go to internet cafes.
Already laughing at your answer. Go ahead.
Before we all had it on our phones and stuff, I had a big trip. Went to the Middle East, went to Syria and Lebanon, Jordan and Egypt. And it was, Egypt, not so bad. A lot of people have been there. Lebanon, 1 or 2 people. But Syria, not a lot of people have been there. I was talking to this guy one day. He said, go to Syria. It's the greatest place. I was like, wow, Syria, not on my radar. I went to the old Lonely Planet Lemon Tree. That was the old blog where, it's like a Reddit. And man, I came out of that thinking people this is the best place to go and visit. It's the greatest place. And I was skeptical. I was like, no way. But the more I read, it was legit reviews from travelers. Syria was one of the greatest places I've ever been to. It was awesome. Food was great. Yeah. Awesome people. Tons of history.
Yeah.
So much to see and do. And I was just shocked, but it was great. Nowadays, you just do it on your phone. But I had to go into... I spent 2 or 3 hours in the internet cafe just reading...
Not cheap.
No. It's
hours.
£4 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I only had the Lonely Planet book when I was traveling around.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Lee went to the lemon party. That's pretty cool.
Wow, Syria looks crazy.
Very cool.
All right, Skatesy, bring us home.
I mean, it's not as good as that. It's actually, it's currently happening, the research, and I think it's going to pay off. I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm looking for a treadmill. Okay, want to get one. I did just sign up for the YMCA to use their treadmill because I've got this whole program coming up here. I talked about a marathon I'm running later in the summer, so I need it to do speed work and stuff like that, or I want it. But I've been looking into one. I asked you about your Peloton treadmill that you had, and I know there was some issues. Let's just leave it at that. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at a bunch of other ones. I asked people on Twitter. Anyway, I think it's paid off because I'm just taking my time, and it's taking so long I can't make a decision, that somebody just contacted me, slid into my DMs, said, hey, I might be able to hook you up with a family and friends discount.
Wow.
On a Nordic track.
Whoa.
I was like, oh, that's one I'm looking at.
Wow.
I've read the reviews of that. It's better than
Legit?
Lemon Party.
That's top of the line. When I made my selection, I was Nordic Tracker Peloton.
Yeah,
I'm happy with my selection, but Nordic's the top.
Fingers crossed here that this is going to be a pretty nice little discount. Those family and friends discounts are no joke. So, hopefully I'll be getting one, and the research paid off just because I couldn't make a decision, really.
Great.
Yeah.
Your move, Peloton.
Yeah.
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 I'm interested. Make me a deal. I can't refuse.
I'm looking at a Peloton bike right now.
Yeah, it's over there.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, guys. That's Rapid Fire. Always fun, isn't it? Yeah. Just when you think we've run out of questions to ask, we just end up asking them again. It's just like 10 years later.
Yeah.
But that's Rapid Fire. That's the Drop Podcast. Hopefully another classic. You tell us. Let us know with your 5-star ratings and reviews wherever you listen to Apple Podcasts. And let us know by subscribing to No Dunks on YouTube if you enjoy the show, and share it with your friends. We will be back tomorrow night. Usually I say at this point, all right, guys, we'll see you on Monday for NBA weekend winners and losers. Not this time. Saturday night, watch party for the All-Star Saturday night festivities. We'll get started around 8 p.m. Eastern. So join us on Saturday. That's going to be a lot of fun. Email in your questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, @NoDunksInc. And get yourself an athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow night right back here in the Classic Factory. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, in honor of a common line right here, skip Athens and wait for Beijing. From the 76ers, it's Julius Erving. Thank you, Pat Lagarde. That's a good one. Right?
Embrace the day, people.